not often remembered. And then you take take one indigenous CDE based in Claremorris, doing work across the globe and just getting into the Chinese market, very big in Asia, practically not really that well known at home. Or McHale Machinery export very sophisticated farm machinery all over the globe, 15, 16 countries, and have plants both in Ballarode, which they are currently effectively doubling in terms of footprint, and in Poland. And they export the kind of machinery that in my youth we would have thought was only produced in places like Germany, Switzerland, and sophisticated places like that, not in rural Mayo. So the county, when you get beneath the skin and beneath the popular perception, and we really, really, really want to move away from the Mayo God help us syndrome, because we have moved on way past that. It's a very sophisticated and a very complex and a very productive and vibrant place. We're good at a lot of things. Being from Galway, I'm not going to mention football. And we are a great place to get away from it all. We'll talk about tourism a little bit later on. As Curlick said, the Wild Atlantic Way has been a phenomenal success to date, and will be a bigger success as we move ahead in the next couple of years and it rolls out in more detail. But as a mind, and it is mainly a figment of the imagination to some extent, it's about branding, it's about marketing, it's about packaging, because the Wild Atlantic Way has been there for eons. It's only in the last couple of years that it has been developed as a product in its own right, and it fits right into our barrel. We have the longest coastline of any county in the country. And anyone who argues with that is statistically correct. We get you the backup for it. Please get the word out there. We're longer than Kerry, we're longer than Galway, we're longer than Donegal. We are the longest, okay? And that's not hugely important as a bragging point, but in terms of a mindset where the Wild Atlantic Way can be best experienced, it's a stat. And if Kerry had it, believe me, they would be telling it. So we've been trying to push the idea that we're pretty much centre point in the Wild Atlantic Way. We have the highest sea cliffs in Europe, higher than, what's the small ones in Clare? Yeah, those are the ones. They're higher than those, not known. And we are very central. We have direct access through our Ireland West Airport at Knock, and we are the heartbeat of the Wild Atlantic Way. That's a mindset, again, that we'd like people to just get the word out. Heartbeat, Wild Atlantic Way, Mayo. We are becoming, and there are others competing for the title, we're becoming the adventure capital of Ireland. And when you think about the move towards fitness, towards well-being, towards outdoor pursuits, and you think about how that fits with what we have in terms of landscape, in terms of coastline, in terms of scattered facilities, and how it has impacted, and you can see it enacted this summer in particular, we think that the adventure capital of Ireland is another message and another brand that we want to push out there. We're experts at doing business. I spoke of the Enterprise and Investment Unit, and there is a promise that we'll make in the business session of this conference that we'll get back to later on. Future as we see it. Future is going to be about a number of things, these and others, but in our mind these are important. It's going to be about connectivity. It's going to be about communication. It's going to be about collaboration, not competition, collaboration. And it's going to be about diaspora. That 3.5 million people that are out there that have a real connection to our country are really very important to us. In terms of connectivity, we are not quite there yet, but we're getting there. This fibre optic cable that is being developed to connect from Shirley, New York, through Ireland into England and on to the financial markets in Frankfurt, with a loop to the south, directly into France. Emerald Express are the name of the company that started it. They're very, very close to pushing a go button. In this world, no one says the go button is pushed until the go button actually gets pushed. But hopefully, if we're lucky, in the next couple of months, that will go. There are competing cables as well, by the way. If they don't come ashore here, they would probably come ashore in the south of the country. That would be great for the island, great for Ireland, but we would be far better served if we could bring it ashore in Mayo. We've been working very hard at that. If it happens, it will be the fastest connection between the financial markets of London and New York, and it will have Mayo not as an outpost, or Ireland not as an outpost, but as an integral part of that stepping stone between the two major powerhouses on the planet, and that's got to open up opportunities. In terms of the communication, this is the brand, and I don't want to steal Martina's thunder. This is the work that's being done by the Enterprise and Investment Unit under Joanne's guidance and leadership. And Martina rather will be speaking about it later today. But the words that are important here, and the emblem and the trademark, Martina will explain where that comes from. But the words are about the identity of the county. Many places, many people, many parts. Well, that's global parts. This isn't just parts at home. One county. And then the call to action, or connect, which is part of why we're here, which is what we're all about. Visit, come and understand. You've got to go back to the home ship to see, in the great tradition of the Israeli diaspora, who are far better at it than we are, everyone gets to go home at least once in a lifetime. And I know everyone in this room knows that, but we're trying to push that in other places as well. And invest, and we don't mean just send money. We mean invest emotionally, invest time, invest energy in understanding where your roots are from, because that works both ways, and that will lead to connection, it will lead to communication, it will lead to business, and it will work both ways. It has to. In terms of collaboration, we're trying to position Mayo as a stepping stone to Europe. And as we said in the earlier session, we can't promise that you're going to get better tax breaks in Mayo than you get in Donegal or Galway or anywhere else. We can't promise that the IDA are going to be more welcoming in Mayo than they are in Donegal or Cork. We can't promise that the government are going to do more for you in Mayo. Well, we can't at home, but we can't really long term. But we can promise that you will find the best, most welcoming, most open, most accessible enterprise and investment unit in the country, and you will find the most positive, creative, progressive local authority in the country. And I know I speak for the elected members and for the executive both when I say that. And in terms of our relationship with Cuyahoga, we're moving on from the twinning with ACCA, which has been extremely successful. Nate, I'm sure, will talk about the MOU, and we're trying to position Cuyahoga as the stepping stone to North America, not just the US, the continental US, but also into Canada. And some of the businesses that are here, we're delighted to have real business people here who are putting real time, real effort, real money into this work. We'll tell you about how those stepping stones are working, and they are, and they can be better. We can do business. As I've said, the global family, which is the theme of this conference, is a very big part of that business. And we can build a future for that global family. And this conversation, this conference, and I'd like to thank the people who put the effort and work into putting it together, is an important part of that conversation. Can be a stepping stone to building that brighter future for the global Mayo family. Ramaki as Eishtut, and I'd like to hand over to Nate Kelly, who I think probably in this town, at this time, needs no introduction, to talk a little bit about the perspective from the western end of the conversation.
Thank you. I'm going to stand and speak. Can everybody hear me? Great. So, first, welcome to Cleveland, and thank you very much for the warm introduction. It is an honor to have so many Mayo societies here and colleagues from the Cleveland area, but also from all over the world. Really flattered to have you guys choose Cleveland for the Global Mayo Convention and be one of those four. It means a lot to us, so I appreciate that. Peter makes the case for why we should invest our time and passions into Mayo. And in my role at Cuyahoga County, we are the county that surrounds the city of Cleveland, and part of our mission is now economic development. And my role is to help businesses be able to grow. One of the things that the county executive, Ed Fitzgerald, here says is when he's asked, where is the next Fortune 500 company coming from? How are we going to attract them here to Cuyahoga County? His answer is always, well, they're already here. We need to help them grow. And so one of the slides that Peter showed was the future of Mayo, and it resonates a lot with what we think our future is. And so that connectivity is genuine. There was 4 points that he made. One was to connect, to communicate, collaborate, and diaspora. So on the connecting front, Mayo makes the case. It is a natural beachhead for any business that aspires to do business in Europe. It's particularly attractive for businesses for a number of reasons, but low cost, it's only 5 hours away, and I can attest, my colleagues in Mayo never sleep. They're never asleep. I don't know how they do it. They're like gremlins. Every text message, every voicemail, every phone call is a direct connect and quickly responded to, both for businesses and me. And having that is so fundamental to being able to get business done. Ireland's workforce is abundant, it's healthy, and it's well educated. Domestically, we have a lot of challenges around making sure that our workforce is well educated and healthy and abundant. And so when we're working with a business that aspires to do business overseas and in Europe, it's such a treat to be able to work with a workforce as engaged and committed and educated and healthy as that which we've experienced in Mayo, in the west of Ireland, and most of Ireland. And lastly, it's an easy place to start off for a simple company, a simple family, a simple business in the Cleveland area because speak English, you have the benefits of the EU, the regulatory environment is the same, and the passion of the enterprise unit in Mayo is so great and so engaging that that first introduction seals the deal. Part of that is communication, that second bullet. Domestically, when I do economic development with domestically located businesses, most of what we have to focus on is incentives. What can you do for me? And we work with different organizations across the globe. But here locally, we have a number of organizations that help businesses in the state of Ohio, in Northeast Ohio, and here in the county to engage business from overseas, from all over the world. What's interesting is we see the data and we see it in reality, that the driving factors of what helps a business grow locally, first is familiarity. Businesses want the relationship. They want to know that they can be familiar with a place where they're going to work, where they're going to grow. Those factors are followed by logistics, workforce, risk. And in contrast to a lot of the talk that we have domestically, incentives rarely come up when we're engaging any international business. But where the edge is in Mayo, in our connections with Mayo, is that number one factor, familiarity, has, largely because of the diaspora, a running start. 11 years of the twinning of Echo Island and the city of Cleveland, the diaspora, and about 250,000 people in the area that have Irish surnames, makes people feel like they already have that organic kinship. There's an ethos that is shared with the folks that we get to talk to and meet, engage with from Mayo, that gives Mayo a level of comfort for businesses that I work with. Pardon me. It gives level of comfort to those businesses to work in Mayo. And it makes that initial introduction easy so that the discussions about logistics, workforce, there's already that trust, that bond is in place. The twinning with Echo, Tom Scanlon, who, if you guys don't know him, you will this weekend, says, there are so many people in the Cleveland area that claim to be from Echo that if they all went there, it would sink. We want to try it. We want to try it. That shared kinship that ethos that helps give us a running start when we're doing business in the west of Ireland makes it easy, and you'll see examples of that throughout the day in the different panels. I've witnessed it firsthand. The level of customer service that I have received from Peter, and thank you very much, Peter, for your leadership, and the way that the other members of the Mayo County Council are present to roll out the red carpet, and also all the official employees and staff of the enterprise units have made it so that big names like the Cleveland Clinic are able to establish almost immediate relationships with businesses that they're building here and trying to get regulatory approval in the EU. And you see that is those fast growth companies. Manufacturing is 10% of our economy. And being able to manufacture and distribute and engage with companies that are in Europe, Mayo is the natural beachhead for us. You'll hear from companies, and you've already heard from folks like John McCann at Mace, Sherwin-Williams, Park, Ohio, and then a number of many smaller companies throughout the day. But all of that is, I think, fundamental to the last piece, which is collaboration. At the initiative of Peter and his team on the Mayo side, and a number of the members of our own Mayo Society here in Cleveland, we're able to create an MOU that is a spin-off from the twinning or sister city process that happened with Echo Island and the city of Cleveland. That MOU, however, is the first step to do some more actionable things around business development, cultural exchange, and social exchange. That MOU has also already delivered results. Culturally, John Carroll University, which is a private university here in Cleveland, has created, with University of Ireland Galway, a Irish Studies program that focuses on the West. We've already had businesses that have made those connections. Having this convention here as part of that cultural exchange is a significant step. And my hope for you, for those of you that are from other Mayo societies elsewhere in our country, Canada, other places, my hope is that you can use this model and do the same thing. Your participation in engaging Mayo helps us to have more in Mayo to work with. We'd be glad to help your cities move companies to Cuyahoga County if we could make that easier for you. That's usually kind of funny, and it still isn't funny when I'm saying that it isn't funny and I'm suffering up here. So before I open it up to questions for my colleagues here and out in the room, I want to recount something that Ed Fitzgerald said in a speech that I've appreciated, which was, I'll summarize, a French letter to the Irish during the failed Irish Rebellion of 1978 says, "Liberty, equality, fraternity, and union. Brave Irishmen, our cause is common. Let us march, we are devoted to you, our glory is in your happiness." And I hope you join me. Thanks.